Are you surprised at what things are coming out with Diddy at all, or you have no idea? It's none of my business. You'll live long.
I believe he's being targeted.
You believe he's being targeted?
Yeah, I believe somebody has the power to pull the trigger.
Katt Williams just dragged Ice Cube's trifling self through the pits of hell after Ice Cube came out to defend Diddy. Ice claims that Diddy didn't actually commit any of the crimes he's being accused of, and that the SA lawsuits and allegations against him are all part of a plot by Hollywood executives to destroy hip-hop. A lot of people were very disappointed when they saw Ice running his mouth about this, but they weren't surprised, because unlike what some of y'all think, Ice Cube is far from the unproblematic celebrity that y'all think he is. Earlier this year, he got into it with Katt Williams after Katt accused him and the producers of the film Friday After Next of trying to blackball him for refusing to do some scenes in the movie that glorified SA. And from the looks of it, Ice hasn't changed much at all since then, because he's still out here defending people like Diddy and trying to turn the cause of Diddy's downfall into some baseless conspiracy theory instead of acknowledging him for the awful person he is. So what exactly did he say about Diddy? And are the rumors about him also being one of the industry gatekeepers true? Let's get right into it. Okay, so as most of y'all already know by now, Diddy's life has been in shambles since November of last year when Cassie came out with an explosive lawsuit detailing the mistreatment and repeated SA that she went through while she was with him. Since then, he's been sued by several other people, including a male music producer who accused him of SA too. Both of his sons, Christian and Justin, have also been incriminated, with Christian even fighting his own SA lawsuit. So it looked like the apple didn't fall too far from the tree. Diddy's houses were raided by Homeland Security, and in the footage is leaked by paparazzi, the feds were seen leaving his properties with several boxes, which people believe contained evidence of Diddy's crimes. And on top of that, CNN did their big one when they pulled a couple strings and leaked a disturbing video of Diddy putting his hands on Cassie in a hotel after one of their infamous freak-off sessions, which he forced her to indulge in for over 10 years. And what's crazy is that Diddy kept lying, trying to convince us he was innocent. But once that footage leaked, he came out and finally was forced to grow some balls and own up to what he did. Now, you would think in the video of him attacking Cassie in that hotel, coupled with the multiple lawsuits, would make people finally see him for who he is. But unfortunately, there are still some folks that think he's innocent, and Ice Cube is one of them. In fact, Candace Owens was actually one of the first people to question the motive behind Diddy's lawsuits. Right after his properties were raided, she put up this tweet that read, "The feds are currently raiding Diddy's house. They already knew what he was up to, but he's gonna be the fall guy so that they can protect the people at the top of the ring. They're raiding his home to hide evidence, not to find it." That's how this works. Now, even though there might be some truth to what she said, she making it look like Diddy's victims are lying and that they just some sort of accessory in a big Hollywood plan, which ain't true. Now, when it comes to Ice Cube, he didn't just blame Diddy's current downfall on the same industry ploy that Candace was talking about. He flat out dismissed the victims and said that Diddy was being set up. Ice completely disregarded the victims and made Diddy out to be an innocent man.
Surprised at what things are coming out with Diddy at all, or you have no idea? It's none of my business. You'll live longer. So kind of like the mindset.
Surprised. How could you be surprised with anything that happens in hip hop? Hip hop is the Wild West. So you're gonna have the good, you're gonna have the bad, you're gonna have the ugly.
You think he's being targeted, or some of the stuff he's got, there's credibility on what they're coming after him with the tapes and the feds and raiding his Miami home, his LA home?
I believe he's being targeted.
You believe he's being targeted?
Yeah. I believe, somebody, has the power to pull the trigger to make, this domino effect happen.
Oh, but he didn't just stop there. He also went on to disregard Diddy's victims and labeled the entire situation as mere speculation, even though there's more than enough evidence. I mean, just a few months ago, there was just footage of him harming Cassie that got released. If a literal video footage ain't enough, then I don't know what is.
So you don't think, Suge said, you can say what you want about Diddy, but Diddy didn't learn to like young boys. He learned it from a man named Clive Davis. He threw Clive Davis in there. It doesn't sound like you're part of that camp. You're part of the camp that you think he's being targeted.
You know, I don't know enough to even be able to be specific on any of this stuff. It's just all speculation. I just know he was cool up until a point, and then this stuff started happening. So I believe somebody, you know, like I said, yo, he's our new guy. We on this year or whatever.
Baby, people were not here for any of this mess, and they dragged him for filth. One person said, "Oh, please, O'Shea Jackson, stop with the BS. Even in the midst of all this evidence against Diddy, you still gonna utter those words? Man, you are way too mature for this." Another person said, "Damn, Cube is way off, LOL. Get 50 in here. He don't give a F." While people were going in on Ice Cube, other people brought up the fact that Katt Williams warned us about what side of Hollywood Ice Cube was really with during his interview with Shannon Sharpe earlier this year. If y'all remember, Katt exposed Ice Cube as a creep when he accused him and the producers of Friday After Next for trying to force him into filming a scene of getting SA'd by Terry Crews because they thought a scene with a black man being violated was gonna be funny. Katt said he was strongly against this and told Ice Cube and the producers there was no way he was gonna film that because there was absolutely nothing funny about someone being SA'd. Katt also talked about how scared he was because this was the first gig he had as an actor and he didn't want to create the wrong impression about him being too demanding.
The Money Mike in the original script got in the bathroom, and that's what Ricky Smiley was okay with. Katt Williams had to take the risk in front of the studio and the cast and our powers that be in his very first movie and say respectfully, humbly, guys, if we're talking about anything else, I have no credibility and I have no pull. But we're talking about comedy, right, where I have all the credibility and all the pull. The problem with Friday After Next is we're trying to make a classic comedy. And this comedy involves and is never funny, no matter who it happens to or what the circumstances are. If you would allow me to allow us to do this movie without a black man getting in it, I promise you that it will be twice as funny as it would be with him getting. So considering that's the real story, why would you bring up that story? 35 members of the cast and crew have never brought up that Ricky Smiley was gonna play Money Mike. No one ever saw me put on a Santa Claus suit. We got a wardrobe department. They made a Santa Claus suit for me. Why that wasn't in the bloopers?
He also said he had to rewrite the entire movie because it had too many graphic details like this, and he wasn't very happy with that.
I wrote it. What I'm saying if I did it and I did a good job at it, you can thank me. I was involved.
Right.
I'm not gonna come later on and tell you, I never even read the whole script. So how you know what roles? What? What do you mean you never read the these guys' whole job is to present something, unfortunately. And I'm just not a presenter. If you ask me a question, I'm just gonna tell you the truth of how it went.
What's even crazier about this is that you would think Terry Crews would also join Katt and try to talk some sense into Ice Cube and the producers. But he was actually trying to force Katt into doing the scene of him getting SA'd by him too. Katt said after this traumatic experience, he got blackballed and all the movies he was supposed to do got handed over to Kevin Hart because he was willing to do just about anything without changing nothing about the scripts.
Had a lot of conversation that this was your opportunity and you needed to seize this moment.
Terry had the benefit of having been in some very high-profile situations already and took L's. Mm-hmm. Like, he had been in the league, you know what I mean? He had done pro wrestling. He had done a lot of things. He had been televised in some things that hadn't worked.
Right.
And this was just fortuitous for him. And now you know what nobody has ever said in the whole industry in 20 years about, you know, the whole Money Mike not get in the bathroom.
Right.
So I understood going in that there's no reason. I lost for a 5-year period, every single movie that Kevin Hart did was a movie that had been on my desk, that all I had said was, just, can we take some of this step and fetch shit out? And then I can do it. Like, it don't need to be overtly homosexual, because I'm not homosexual, right? It doesn't need that to be funny, right? And me saying that and them going, oh yeah, no problem. And then going to give it to this other guy and having him do it just like it was, and acting like I'm a bad person because I keep standing on my standard. But yeah, it's interesting, but I wouldn't change it for the world.
Now after this, people started going off on Ice Cube, and the heat got so bad that he ended up posting an entire 9-minute long video in response to Katt. He accused Katt of lying about rewriting the entire movie and claimed that Katt was only allowed to make a few minor changes to help the script better.
We shoot the script, but once we get what we need from the script, we let the comedians ad-lib, riff, play with the words, do their thing. We give them a take where they can, or 2, 3 takes where they can go off and do what they feel. Sometimes it makes the movie, sometimes it don't. When somebody gives you jewels, you want to try to make sure that makes the movie.
But Ice wasn't done just yet. He also denied there ever being any scene of Katt getting SA'd, and surprisingly suggested that Katt made it up in his head. He said he had no recollection of that part ever being in the film, and that Katt probably remembers everything wrong.
Second thing I want to clear up, I would never shoot a scene in a movie, especially like Friday, where you actually see this happening on camera. That ain't my style. If you check out any of my movies, they not raunchy. We did a movie called Players Club where the subject matter was a little raunchy, but for the most part, even that, we left it to your imagination. So the only reason that kind of stuff was in the movie is because you have 3 villains in Friday After Next. You have Santa Claus stealing presents. You have Damon, just got out of prison, sweating. Craig and Diddy for the rent money. And then you have Money Mike, that treats his woman, like a property. In everybody's career, we would listen to a certain extent, but we wasn't gonna change the movie for any actor. We do what we feel, and if it was a scene, it would have been in the movie. There was no reason not to shoot it. But that's not my style. I don't even like that kind of.
People did not believe anything that Ice Cube said, and they definitely don't believe him now after he just defended Diddy. He pretty much told the world what side he's on. It's really unfortunate that Diddy's victims still have to hear stuff like this from people, especially people like Ice Cube, even after they've proved they have evidence. No wonder Diddy was able to get away with it for so long. As usual, people had their own thoughts about this, like this person who said, Ice Cube at one point not long ago was talking like he knew so much and was going to expose the entire industry and Hollywood. That never really happened, and now he doesn't know anything. Okay. Another person said, he talks like he's scared, or Diddy has some dirt on him. Either way, he doesn't talk like someone who has clean hands. So Ice Cube, what's up, man? But now I want to know your thoughts. What do y'all think about Ice defending Diddy? And do y'all think that Diddy's actually innocent? Y'all been knew what to do. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other very messy video.